Well, these guys are going through it. They have stories all over the world, even over in India. This has happened to me before. When you get a bad story on your motorcycle club, it just makes the rounds all over the entire world. So we're going to talk about the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. We looked at what happened yesterday with, actually it happened Friday with the beating of the man in the club. We did a update earlier this morning to not changing, but telling a different side of the story. So you guys need to go look at the video this morning that tells a little bit different side of the story. Now we're going to talk about one guy's idea. We're going to be looking at this Fort Wayne newspaper who talks about the Outlaws Motorcycle Club and the history of the group's ties in Fort Wayne. So we'll see how close this is or how good it is. I wonder if this is going to be a hit piece or if this is going to be actually informational. Anyway, we'll be checking that out right after we return. Who Are the Outlaws MC in Fort Wayne, Louisiana? Not Louisiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana. Wow, some kind of Anna. We'll be right back in just a minute and 7 seconds. Thanks for tuning in, man. And women, we appreciate you.
Black Dragon Biker News. He's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News. Get yourself educated by his books and you'll learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. He covers it all. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol. A lot of phonies popped up when this YouTube Biker News craze came about, but the man on this channel is the first to do it and the only one that never sold out. His name's Black Dragon. Started the day of the Reverend Uncle Sam, they traded that uniform for the best from the Mighty Black Sabbath. Not the band, I'm talking about the Mighty Black Sabbath MC. We're paid his dues and the artist stripes, from prospect all the way up to national P. All the copycat creators and the content stealers and haters, there have been many, but there's only one larger than life. Like Michael with a cowboy hat that knows kung fu and says get skinny. Black Dragon Biker News, he's on YouTube. Black Dragon Biker News, just self-educated by his books and you learn how to move. Black Dragon Biker News. So click on the screen, hit subscribe and get updated Biker News with MC Protocol.
Alrighty then, man. We got our good people on here. We got Lavish T. Williams running for the 2nd District out there in Detroit to be the police commissioner. Not a cop, but the ones telling the cops what to do here. Let me focus in on that. There you go, Lavish T. Williams, man. We see you. We see you, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Our only show, the only show in all of Motorcycle Club history, okay? The only show in all of Motorcycle Club history and podcast to have our own doctor.
Nobody's gonna push.
Logic. What's up, doctor?
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Lavish. Chat room. Black Dragon.
What's up? What's up?
Gotta fix the orange mic. Gotta fix the orange mic.
If you okay, so we saw this thing, and you know what can be so bad about this thing is that the optics look horrible. What happened? The optics are horrible, but the optics might not have been what the club was trying to do, and that can happen. It's happened to me before. I want to show you this. If you do a search on biker news, look at what you get. New York Post, shocking video captures white men in biker gang gear spewing racial slurs and beating a black man in an Indiana bar. Now, I could, I can understand certain things, but I watched the video. I didn't see the whole video. They might have been spewing racial slurs, but I only heard one. I heard beat that MFer a whole bunch of times. I only heard the N-word come out once. Does that make it racial slurs? Look at this one. Watch white men, bikers, spew racial slurs and beat a black man in an Indiana bar. Bikers. Oh, so that's just. So if you do a search on biker gang news, let's see what happens. Yeah, there it is. Shocking video. White man wearing New York Post. Here's a new one. Gossip. Hate crime. Black man beaten and berated with N-word. Okay, so this one was a little bit more close because it was a little close because it says N-word, berated with N-word. So that's just one word. That's just one time, not the hundreds of times by Indiana biker gang in a viral video. And it just goes on. If you do, let's see, if we do motorcycle club news, club new motorcycle. How do you spell motorcycle? Motorcycle club news. Let's see what happens. There it is. Shocking video. But one thing we get is this story. What is the Outlaws Motorcycle Club? And I thought that would be interesting because I was like, okay, that might be an interesting story. What does this guy think? So here we are. What is the Outlaws Motorcycle Club history of the group's Fort Wayne ties? And this is interesting. I didn't realize before there might be a video with this. Is that do we get a video with this? Let us see if we get a video with this. We'll know in about 10 seconds. They always populate our screen with all this good stuff here. We appreciate you guys for that. And then the video disappeared. Okay, here's the video still. But anyway, this is a story written by a guy named Clayton McMahan, who writes for this this Fort Wayne newspaper. So we're going to, it's called Wayne 15. And we're going to take a look at this article and see, is this like another hit piece? Or are we actually going to learn something about the club? I guess this disappeared. It stopped working. It stopped working altogether. I don't know how those guys get past my call filter. I pay for this call filter to keep the folks from India from trying to sell me healthcare, and it's still okay. Hold on, is this it? Let's see.
In the background, all you have to do is
okay.
All you have to do is listen for the hard R's in the background. All you have to do is listen to the chants of beat him, beat him.
If this were your brother, if this were your father, and they were attacked in such a way, how fast would you want justice?
A viral video showing a fight in a bar just outside of Fort Wayne has now spawned a petition after some say they are certain it was a hate crime. Video was taken Friday night at Pike's Pub and shows several men beating and choking another man. At this time, we're unable to show you the video because we need permission from the original person who shot it. But in the video, it shows a black man in the bar get ganged up on by a group of several white men who appear to belong to the Outlaws Motorcycle Club based on their jackets. In the video, the white men seem to insinuate that the black man was not going to pay his tab. A racial slur is heard, and the group of white men end up beating and choking the black man on the floor of the bar. The video sparked outrage with thousands of voices on social media speaking on the issue, including Bree Andrews. Seeing posts that threatened more violence, she proposed a different, slower method. Her petition seeks to get the attention of local leaders with the end goal of change, not a cycle of violence.
I basically got out there as, a message as quickly as I could to share how I think we should go about dealing with this in order to make sure that there is no additional casualties, in order to make sure that everyone is safe. Now that this has occurred, it's what do we do next? And how do we bring about the necessary individuals that can help bring this to the level of resolve? And to me, that automatically goes to the, Allen County Commissioners, City Council, and things like that, which we have put in place with this petition.
Andrew says that she would like to see the bar's liquor license taken away as a starter, with authorities pursuing those involved as well.
We've seen this before.
Just like I said about the last thing. The person of the bar, the
We've
owner.
seen this happen before. Some shit happens in town. They want to shut the bar down.
Yeah. Yeah.
That we've seen that before. That just happened in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Which I got a story for that. What I plan to do with the show about that, and we were going to do that yesterday, but unfortunately, we had this news come up. But yeah, there's some news I want to talk about where that's concerned. But anyway, this is interesting. You know, what if? I mean, optics are everything. You know, what if this was just let's beat a guy's ass, and he was black, and so now the optics are so horrible. The one guy who screamed out that racial slur, that guy is probably catching hell right now from the club, especially if he wasn't in the club. But I did another show this morning, like I said, and somebody made a comment on the show. And this comment really sounds close. You know, people call me when this stuff happens, and this comment sounds the closest of everything I've heard. This comment makes the most sense, and I'm going to read it to you. It makes the most sense of everything that I heard, and sounds to me to be like the most credible. And let me see, where is it? He said, I'll pull this up for you guys. Where is it? Okay. He said, here's the truth right here. Here's the truth. The guy goes there often. One of the guy's girlfriends was flirting with him. Her boyfriend got mad, and his motorcycle gang brother added the woman's drinks to the guy's total. So what they're probably talking about is the guy that we heard of who was the supporter. So he was the guy that probably works for the bar. So one of the guys of the MC gangs, bro, added the woman's drinks to the black guy's total. The guy told them to fix his tab so he could pay and go. They refused and then demanded cash. He went to leave and was jumped. While being jumped, he was called a racial slur. One of those jumping him was the bar owner's boyfriend and her daughter's boyfriend. So that sounds to me like the closest story to all of the ones I've heard so far. And
so that made it more personal and less about the club itself wanting to jump on a black man.
Right. Yeah.
But since they had their vest on and their shirts on, the club is going to be implicated.
Well, they attacked it as a club.
Right. Well, oh, yeah, right.
When you attack a person as a club, the club is implicated.
Mm-hmm.
It is the club. That's why we always say don't do nothing in your colors. So anyway, let's find out a little bit about the club, this author's idea of who the club is. So we'll see what he knows. Fort Wayne, in the aftermath of a viral video showing the group of white men wearing Outlaws Motorcycle Club vests being beaten up, or actually beating up a black man. Well, in the beginning, they were being beaten up, but didn't last long. They were wearing their cuffs. They're beating up a black man at a bar just outside of Fort Wayne city limits. Wayne 15, which is the newspaper, looked into the organization and its ties to the Summit City. The incident took place at Pike's Pub off Winchester Road, and racial slurs can be heard in the background of the online video. I heard one racial slur. Not that I'm downplaying or anything like that, but, you know, context is important, and so is accuracy. The Allen County Sheriff's Department is investigating the case, but no charges have been filed as of Monday. And one of the reasons would be probably because the man himself did not speak out in terms of, he didn't rat out anybody. He kept it G, and didn't report anybody or whatever. The Outlaws are part of a motorcycle club that started in 1935 in McCook, Illinois, which is a Chicago suburb. So this, I believe, would make this probably the oldest motorcycle club that is now a 1% motorcycle club. This would make it probably the oldest one in the world.
According to Wikipedia, it is.
There we go. Since its inception 90 years ago, the club has since grown to more than 1,700 numbers across 176 chapters in the United States and abroad. This is a worldwide international motorcycle club. Now, I always doubt these numbers, like 1,700 people. I think it's probably a lot more than that, but this is what the U.S. Department of Justice says, so we'll go with that. 176 chapters in the United States and abroad. There's a lot of these guys all over the world. Since the club's defining features included its logo, a skull on top of cross pistons known as Charlie. So this is the logo here. And to be honest, for my own motorcycle club, the reason that I gave our colors a name is because I learned that their colors had a name. So their colors were named Charlie. And I was like, man, we need a name for our colors. So I named our colors. Well, some of the guys in the club named our colors the turtle shell. So we definitely took a reference from learning that some people's colors have names, and so that's how our colors got a name.
Found out about that name last year about one of their former members.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said, oh wow. I was like, okay, never knew that. So that was like something new to me that I just discovered.
Something that I read when I was doing some research for my book is that their colors have actually gone through at least one set of changes. They changed their colors after the movie with Marlon Brando. What was that movie called? Was it The Defiant one? What was that movie?
The Defiant Ones. Marlon Brando was in that one, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was like the big, huge movie of the day, and they changed their colors a little bit to be more like that. Moving on. So that's the defining logo, a skull on top of cross pistons, known as the club's motto, which is "God forgives, the outlaws don't." And that's an ominous motto right there. Wild Ones, Goose, my
Wild Ones.
My producer in the background said the Wild Ones, and I appreciate Goose for everything he does back there. Look, and my people know too. The Wild One Cutoff said the Wild Ones. Okay, Black Dragon, the Wild Ones. Tony said the Wild Ones. Okay, I don't know. I should know. I don't like the Defiant Ones to me. Anyway,
Defiant Ones, Wild Ones. And look, and I agreed. Yeah, I think it was Defiant Ones.
According to the federal indictment. Okay, so I knew they were going to do this in this story. I knew they were going to do this.
They're going to connect something else. Yeah.
Well, what they're going to do is, that we were going to learn who the outlaws were. I guess part of that would have to be dragging out all this stuff. So according to a federal indictment from 2012, members must be over 21 years old. Okay, so they learned that you have to be 21 from a federal indictment and own a Harley-Davidson motorcycle or another American-made motorcycle. And we probably could have figured that out without the indictment, because like almost all than 1% motorcycle clubs are like that. I don't know why they want to ride them raggedy-ass Harleys, but they do. Probationary members, known as probates.
I'm not going to entertain that, man. I'm going to just let you keep on speaking.
You said you weren't going to entertain us, so why are you talking on it right now?
I just wanted to put that quote. I know somebody was waiting on me to say something, so I'm not going to entertain.
Probationary members known as but you know what? It's really not Harley Davidson motorcycles. When I think about it, most of them, and I don't know what they found out in this indictment, but most of them say American-made motorcycles is what most of them say, and which pretty much most of them will ride a Harley. But for a lot of those guys, Indians, which are made in America, are also, and Victories were also welcome. So that might be the case there. Probationary members, known as probates, are brought into chapters through a lengthy process, which could take years, and determines how committed a potential member will be, while also ensuring police cannot infiltrate the club, according to court documents. So the way that they bring folks in is not the way 99ers bring it in. A 3-month probation, a couple of rides, and slap on the back and you're in. To get in these top clubs requires a process that it'd be difficult to understand by most folks. You're really going to be when they're going to try to vet you, and still they get infiltrated, but it's harder. They're going to vet you and make sure that you're ready. The process starts when a prospective member hangs around the club for enough time to become a hang around. So a hang around, as you learned from Motorcycle Club Protocol 101, my book, is the first step into the first formal step is when they designate you a hang around. And this hang around may perform menial tasks and other duties to gain the respect of the members. From there, an Outlaws member can sponsor the hang around and make them a probate. In a lot of clubs, this is also known as a prospect. And in some clubs, there's different levels. Some clubs have prospects and probates. But this club, it seems, makes their prospects probates who must follow orders from the members. The last step involves the chapter making a unanimous vote for the probate to become a full member. This is pretty typical in all motorcycle clubs to get voted in, and for some to be voted out. It must be unanimous. So if one guy don't like you, you ain't getting in, and you have to get that guy. You have to get that guy to say you can come in. One guy could keep you out for years. I've seen that happen. And on the Outlaws website, those interested in joining are asked to find an outlaw and ask him. So it's interesting. I've heard a lot of people
like
tell
the
me.
Masonic Lodge.
Oh, is that? Yeah, I've heard that if you want to be one, you have to ask one or something like that. To be one is to know one. What is it?
Something like that.
I can't be told what it is.
No.
Yeah.
No,
Someone just say something like that, man. I'm gonna say something like that, man.
Something like
I
it's
can't be
something like
told.
that. It's something like that. A lot of us don't like all the symbolism that's out there, depending on how old and how long you've been in the fraternity. There's a lot of stuff out there that those older guys don't like being out there. So while younger fraternity brothers will use it, others won't.
You know what? I'm like that too. I don't wear a lot of paraphernalia. I don't have a lot of stuff on there. And it was so funny because I was in a class. I was in a class with one of the higher members, and he had spoke on the people that have all the paraphernalia, everything stamped all over their car.
Yeah.
And it was quite hilarious because he said, I don't even talk to those people. I don't even want to talk to them.
I grew to be like that. I had stuff stretched across the back of my car, and as I got older and traveled further, I took all that stuff off. I don't beep the horns. I don't throw this out the window. I'm like, I said, because if you read, I'm like, why am I doing all this?
Now every so often, depending on where I'm at and what I'm doing, I will show signs and symbols. But that's just out of excitement because you're proud to see, others.
Right.
But symbol, I mean, I don't wear all that stuff. I don't carry it. I don't knock anybody that do, but
Right.
listening to different people's logics is more like it it makes sense, man, because there's a lot that comes along with it.
What are y'all talking about?
We took over.
I mean,
But anyway.
Logic. Oh yeah. Me and Logic know, and any other squares might know as
It's
well.
respectful not to allow the host to know. I can't know. It's bullshit right here.
But no, it just started because it's similar. What you just read is similar, and I'm not in any Greek fraternity. I know brothers that are in Greek fraternities as well. They have the same stuff. You may know some stuff.
I wanted to join one of those, but I'm old now, so I don't have. I can't start all over again from the bottom.
But just like these articles, this reporter.
Mm-hmm.
All his information he got, unless he was in the organization, somebody had to write and tell them how to get into these motorcycle clubs.
Oh, he got
operations.
He got it from looking at an indictment. So some cops somewhere probably got a hold of some
information,
bylaws. Probably
right, exactly.
Did a raid on a club and got some bylaws, and that's how they know.
Right.
So anyway, moving back to the story as we floated away. If you want to be one, I guess you got to know one. And this is interesting because a lot of guys will tell me, "Oh man," they'll call me or send me a text message. "Oh man, I tried to get in touch with the Outlaws, Outcasts, Chosen Few, whatever, you name it.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get in touch with them. I sent them a message on their website, and they didn't get back to me. And I mean, like, bro, really? You just
Really?
expect them to just answer your like, that's not how it works. And so I'm glad they actually wrote it right here. So on their website, and will this take us to their website?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it will.
Yeah, well,
on their everything. See, look at this. I like this. Everything is done face to. They finally had to say this. I'm sure this is new. Like, I'm sure they had to put this up within the last 5 years. Everything is done face to face, not online. Do not write us asking us how to join. No, people have told me this before. I'm glad they
find an outlaw and ask him.
Find an outlaw and ask. That sounds like y'all. You want to be one of us? Find a Mason and ask him. No, y'all need to come ask me if I want it. If y'all want me, come ask me. No, I'm kidding. So if you want to be one, you need to find one, and they do this. They do this face to face. We want to see you face to face. Makes sense. You're going to ride with us face to face. Are we going to do this? Are we going to ride online too? So the department identifies the Outlaws as an OMG, which stands for Outlaw Motorcycle Gang. If you call them that, don't go up to any biker and say, "Hey, man, how's your gang doing?"
I want to join your gang.
I want to join your gang. That's the quickest way, because motorcycle clubs do not refer to. One motorcycle club that I know of calls itself a biker gang. Every other motorcycle club I know runs from that. They don't want that association and all of the stuff that comes with it. They're not going to call themselves a motorcycle gang. There is one in the United States of America that does. Yeah.
I get a kick. I get a kick because it's a club. You know, one of the clubs here in my city. You know, we got our own personal relationship, and I'm always when I want to bother a lot of them and stuff, and we're having conversations. I'll say things like, "Yeah, I know you and your motorcycle gang done pulled up and everything like that," and they get so irritated. We laugh at it, you know, but you get certain ones that they wait on me to pick at, you know, a certain, you know, few individuals out of laughs because they'll get so serious, not serious where they're pissed off at me, but they'll get so serious. Lavish, it's not a gang, we're a club. And I'm like, I know, club gang. I mean, you know, all the same thing. No, it's not the same thing, Lavish. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, the gang, the motorcycle gang, is a gang of y'all.
Antoinette Gonzalez said, "I met some outlaws while on a group trip back from Daytona. They were really cool and allowed us to ride behind them for a while. We are a black mixed gender group, and they were white. There were no problems. Well, looking at you, this is a cutie. I would have let her ride behind us too." You see her there, Lavish? Go ahead, baby girl.
Yeah.
Riding motorcycle self. Wood says, "Oh, he's with you, Logic. I don't know. What did you say he's with you? Dragon, one thing you said," says Mikey Jones, "a club will disappoint you, and I'm at a point where mine probably has." And yeah, bro.
No club, so it's Samoa B.
Look,
Yeah, I seen that in the comments. But yeah, man.
Calvin says the Outlaws MC actually has a few black members in Canada, England, and Europe. I don't know if that's true or not.
No, the outlaw guy that I communicate with told me about the Canada thing.
We did a story on a guy. No, I think he was. I don't know, but I did see a picture. An outlaw that I knew sent me a picture of a black guy in outlaw gear, but you know, I didn't know whether he was a black American or some kind of you know, Cuban or something. I don't know. I have seen a picture of a black man wearing, but I don't know enough to say. Huh?
There's a difference.
Well, some of these clubs will make a difference. They will make a distinction and let dark-skinned people that are from like Hispanic.
You can be dark and from Cuba and get in, but can't be dark and from Texas and get in.
Some of these clubs are like that, bro. They need a distinction, however slight.
He's not black. He's Cuban.
He's not black. He's Cuban, damn it. He's not black. He's Cuban.
Man,
My
I see.
14-year-old self would have agreed with that back then because I had a friend live next door to me. They were from Ireland. No, Scotland. They were from Scotland. And my friends, he said, Daryl, you got a white friend. I said, Johnny's not white. He's Scottish. They like, what? I said, he's not white. He's Scottish.
Man, I see my one guy, man. I want to give a shout out to him. I just see him in the comments, man. One time, man, from Detroit Gentlemen. I see he out here watching, man. I want to give a shout out to him.
What's up, one time from Detroit Gentlemen? All right, as we move back in, a 2023 Department of Justice labels the club as an outlaw motorcycle gang. And to be a gang, you have to meet a few things, like there has to be 3 or more people wearing the same colors, and there's a whole bunch of things, and you got to be moving in concert to advance the organization and all kinds of things, especially
like the police.
Like the police. So they have been by the Department of Justice identified as an outlaw motorcycle gang. But like I say, don't ever, if you're out there in the public, it's not cool to say, hey, man, I see your gang. You guys are looking cool. Just say motorcycle club. I see your club. Organizations whose members use their motorcycle clubs as conduits for criminal enterprises is what qualifies you to be called an outlaw motorcycle gang. The Justice Department also describes an outlaw motorcycle gang as highly structured criminal organizations that engage in criminal activities such as violent crimes, weapons trafficking, and drug trafficking. And absolutely, we have absolutely seen police do the same thing, but hey, they're not gangs. Other OMGs identified by the Justice Department include Hells Angels, the Mongols, at least he says motorcycle club, the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, the Mongols Motorcycle Club, the Pagans Motorcycle Club, the Sons of Silence Motorcycle Club, the Vagos Motorcycle Club, and the Black Pistons Motorcycle Club. I didn't know the Black Pistons were an OMG. The last of which is known as a support group for the Outlaws that helps with recruitment. So that is a support club of the Outlaws.
What's the Black Pistons?
The Black Pistons, yes.
Okay.
And have been brothers with the Outlaws forever and ever. While the various clubs are spread out across the United States, the Outlaws are the dominant OMG in the Great Lakes region, according to the Justice Department. They are definitely dominant in many more areas than that. The Justice Department also identifies the biggest motorcycle clubs, including the Outlaws, as a serious national domestic threat. Wow. So now we're going to talk about Fort Wayne, the Fort Wayne ties. In the past 13 years, the Outlaws Fort Wayne chapter has been subject to multiple investigations and FBI raids that also spilled out across Indiana. In 2012, several police agencies led by the FBI raided the former Outlaws clubhouse at the northwest corner of Main and Cherry Streets near downtown Fort Wayne, which led to authorities seizing. So yeah, this is and this is going to be an indictment against them, but seizing 35 guns, more than $14,000, cars, more than a dozen motorcycles, and cocaine, among other drugs. What it doesn't say is how any of those cases turned out. They will never say that. Dozens of outlaw members across Indianapolis and Fort Wayne were arrested following the raids for a variety of charges, ranging from illegal gambling to fraud and extortion. 2 Fort Wayne members at the time, and it named 2 guys, faced charges during the investigation and received federal sentences, respectively, for 70 months and 46 months for participating in illegal activities under the umbrella of the Outlaws. Shepard pleaded guilty to racketeering, and court documents from his case also outlined a few incidents that were agreed upon as all true parties. In one case, Fort Wayne chapter, okay, so this is a list of all the things they did. As a result, the group took all the items that bore. Okay, so here's interesting. In one case, the Fort Wayne chapter intimidated and assaulted another motorcycle club in Butler for speaking ill towards the Outlaws. In the other case, the Outlaws learned a member reportedly stole roughly $17,000 from the chapter's treasury. Oh, that probably didn't turn out good. As a result, the group took all the items that bore an Outlaws logo or insignia and had a tattoo artist black out the man's Outlaws tattoos.
That was nice.
They burnt that off.
You know.
No, they blacked it out.
Yeah, they said they blacked it out. All right. I'm just playing, y'all. There's any outlaws out there? I'm just joking.
It's not like the case we read a week
Yeah,
ago.
that's what I was thinking of.
Tattoos off of his ass.
They took a Sons of Anarchy torch and
yeah, that guy got his legs all burned up and everything. This guy just got his tattoos blacked out. I think that was nice. My club gives you a certain amount of time. You got a certain amount of time to get your tats black. I don't think anything like that's ever happened. Both incidents happened in 2011, according to court documents. In 2015, federal agents raided the Main Street clubhouse. Although neighbors at the time said nobody had been showing up at the building for a couple of weeks prior to the raid. According to the Outlaws website, the club has 7 locations in Indiana, including a second Northeast Indiana location in Warsaw. And then I guess these are are these all in? Yeah, I guess this is, I didn't know there was a Frankfurt. I know there's a Frankfurt, Germany. I didn't know there was a Frankfurt, Indiana. But there's Anderson, Indiana, Frankfurt, Indiana, Fort Wayne, Indiana, Gary, Indiana.
I've been there.
Michael Jackson is from? Or something?
I've been there, been to the house.
Oh, really?
Indiana. Yeah, I've been to the house. And look, can I say this real quick?
Yeah. What?
Everything I heard about Gary, Indiana, and how around that area, how bad it looks.
Yeah,
it's true.
It looks bad.
My gosh. I said, let's get in here. I put my wife off the bike so I can do the U-turn. That's how bad the road is. Now, if they fixed it since I've been there a few years ago, cool. But it was burnt down, houses around. I was like, this is the Jackson's house. It looked all nice, had monuments, but the block coming up to it, nah, bro.
Just a writer named Sprite. She said, "Thank you for the compliments and prompting me to change how my name shows up."
How did
she
her name
just
show
changed
up?
her name. Yeah.
How did it show up?
It was different before. I've forgotten it. I'm old.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't forget that cute little smile right there. Go ahead, girl.
But yeah, Gary, Indiana. You know,
why are you gonna cut me off?
Well, no, you said Gary. You said Gary, and I said so. I'm
trying to talk
Gary.
about.
Look, each rider says definitely true logic. Yeah, I mean, I don't know nothing about, but look, people say, well, be careful when you go down there to go visit the Jackson's house. I said, when I got off that highway, I was like, yo, am I in the right neighborhood?
They're also in Indianapolis, Northwest Indiana, and Warsaw. Thank you. I won't be going up there. I don't need no trouble. Business records show the Fort Wayne chapter has been listed as a domestic nonprofit under the name the Fraternal Order of the Fort Wayne Outlaws Incorporated. But the business filing had dissolved in 2013, and no official records can be found from after that time. So, yeah, wow. I don't know if we learned. So what I would have liked to have learned is, how they came to Gary and, some of the ways that they ride and what they're, some stuff like that. I was hoping we were going to learn some of that, but all we really got was a rundown of the bad things that they've done, which
is normal, typical.
Which is typical of the media, which is why we exist, to put a good light on things. They have, unfortunately, a huge visibility, public relations problem right now. And probably what they'll do is just be real quiet and hope it goes away. Somebody else will do something stupid soon. But this is the reason that I wrote the book, Public Relations, Public Relations Officers, the Motorcycle Club book, the PRO book, is because I've actually had this happen to me where you could do a search on our name or just, a search for news, biker news, and all over the world were these stories about the horrible thing that happened at our club when one of our club brothers was gunned down on the front door steps of the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club back in 2011. And it's just like this. Like, if you look at this, this is in India. I wanted to bring that story up. Where was it? If you do biker club news, biker news. If you do biker news, yeah, the Times of India. Look at that. The Times of India. White men bikers spew racial slurs and beat a black man in an Indiana bar. A violently racially charged incident unfolded at Pike's Pub in Waynedale, Indiana, where white men in outlaw. They don't even know the name of the club. It just kind of goes like that. An outlaw, it should be an S there, biker vest assaulted a black patron. The victim was hospitalized after the Friday night altercation. I didn't read that he was hospitalized.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. He went to the
to
hospital, but he was
hospital.
yeah.
That's not hospitalized means you stay there.
Oh, no. They took him to the hospital. He still went to the hospital.
I think hospitalized means that you actually stayed there.
Is the definition for hospitalized or
There's
going to
got to be a definition for hospitalized.
you know, we got to look it up, man. Got to look it up. Got to be truthful.
Got to be a definition for hospitalized somewhere.
What it says?
Admit or cause someone to be admitted to the hospital.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I don't think he was admitted.
Wait, don't they admit you when you come in the door?
No.
You are admitted?
No.
Admitted means stay, right?
Yes. You get in a room. You get admitted to the hospital, you get in a room. Staying in ER is not being admitted.
Yeah, right here. To take someone to the hospital and keep them there for treatment. Yeah, because to me, it all matters how you word things. I'm a wordsmith. Wording is important. So he was hospitalized after Friday night altercation, which would lead people to think that he stayed in the hospital, which reportedly began over an unpaid bill. And I guess that is true to a greater or lesser extent, but it wasn't an unpaid bill. It was a disputed bill. The amount was disputed. So they never got to the point of whether it was going to be paid or not. Authorities are investigating the incident, and local residents have staged protests, prompting concern from the mayor. And this is a little bit more disturbing incident, showed several white men. Okay, this is the same thing. The violent confrontation. Okay, biker vets. Okay, as reported by the New York Post. So what they did was they went to the New York Post's, and they're restating what they said. The violent confrontation occurred at Pike's Pub in Waynedale on Friday, which I have discovered or have learned that it's shut down and maybe shut down for a while, according to what we've read. This happened Friday night with footage showing patrons screaming as the altercation knocked drinks off the table. The Allen County Sheriff's Department received a call around 11 p.m. Here's the interesting thing. The Sheriff's Department received a call around 11 reporting an allegedly intoxicated person requiring removal from the premises. Upon their arrival there, the victim declined to provide details about his attackers. So he played it like a G. The victim was subsequently transported to a local hospital, was listed in fair condition. According to Pike's Pub owner, Kelly Roast, either one, who was absent during the incident, the confrontation began when the man refused to settle his bill. The assailants were identified as likely members of the Outlaws Motorcycle Club. But Rost told everyone, told Wayne 15 that there are two sides to every story. And earlier today, on my video, we looked at the other side. So we've done both sides, I think, as we should. Fort Wayne Mayor Sharon Tucker expressed concern in social media, commenting, stating she found the footage to be very disturbing to watch, which it is disturbing to watch. I am seeking answers. And every time a motorcycle club beats somebody down, it's disturbing to watch. We've seen it several times now, and it's disturbing. I am seeking answers, as I am sure many of you are too. So when people see motorcycle clubs or groups of people like street gangs or something, when they see them get down, it's like if you've never seen a pit bull go at it with another dog, or two pit bulls go out. The first time you see it, like I have two top predator dogs. I got a full-blooded pit, and I've also got one of these damn Belgian Malinois. And those two, when they first came together, they got into a fight. It was $2,500. It was crazy watching these two go at it. It's like that when you see a motorcycle club rat pack a guy. It is just it unnerves your senses. And then to think that it was also racially motivated or for it to appear that way, yeah, that's bad. So the mayor said, I'm seeking answers, as I am sure many of you are too. I'm in communication with our team and we'll continue to gather information as it becomes available, she said. Local residents organized protests near the establishment, gathering in a nearby nursing home park. Police revisited the premises on Saturday for further investigation, with the case now being transferred to the Criminal Investigations Division. So it's probably going to get really big because of its optics. Might not necessarily be because of the facts on the ground. The facts are bad no matter how you look at it. The guy certainly didn't do anything to get the SHIT beat out of him like he did. But yeah, Invaders MC are from Gary originally, says Drew. One of our favorite guys, Uncle Shaggy's from the Invaders. Rest in peace to Brian One Percenter. Rest in peace, Brian One Percenter. Is Ragnar on here? What's up, Ragnar? It's typical media never tells all the good that bikers do, just accusations that others have against it. Do you honestly think any 1% club gives a SHIT about public relations? I think they should, William. Though they didn't care in Australia and New Zealand, and you see what's happened to them.
Yeah, I mean, you think you would, but you got some of them guys that, man, they don't even care. You got
As a
some of them guys that don't think that it's a big deal. As a whole organization, yeah, you should really
yeah,
care
I was about to
because
say that.
of the
Yeah,
backlash that's going to come in the heat and everything that comes along with it. I mean, even being in a motorcycle club, you still got to run it like a business. And what I mean by running like a business, you still got to have some type of customer satisfaction um,
Yeah.
with the club to keep the people in the town, somewhat in a I'm trying to figure out the word. You got to keep the people in the town willing to deal with you a little
Mm-hmm.
bit more
Yeah.
than not wanting to deal with you.
Yes.
you don't want to be seen as a public nuisance, because that will bring more drama, more police attention, more FBI attention upon your organization. I mean, yeah, outlaws really don't care because we do what we want to do. But you also don't want to, every time you pull your bike up to your clubhouse, have 10 cops at the corner. Yeah. You don't want that either. You might flip them off, but you really don't want that.
Agreed. And I think they should care. Traveling with one time brings the most poignant comment. It's always over a woman in the end. LOL. He laughs, and that is absolutely true.
Very true.
If this is true, Get Up 48 said, "Here is the truth. The black guy that y'all saw, I don't know his name. He goes there often. One of the biker's girlfriends was flirting with him. Her boyfriend got mad, and his motorcycle club gang brother added the woman's drinks to the guy's total. The guy told them to fix his tab so he could pay and then go. They refused and then demanded cash. He went to leave and was jumped. While being jumped, he was called a racial slur. One of those jumping him was the bar owner's boyfriend and her daughter's boyfriend." So this is very personal.
Yeah.
And when personal business becomes club business, all the BS happens. And
Yeah, I want to make sure I get a lawsuit out of it.
And
I want to hit you where it hurt financially.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to play the game a little. Me personally, I want to play the game a little different at this point in the game. I want to hit you where it hurt at, and get this money out you. So every time you see me in the town or see me later, you know that you had to spend out X amount of dollar because of your foolishness. So yes, you'd have helped me buy me a new house or a new car or whatever the case might be. I want to hit you where it hurt
Buy
at.
me 2 more bikes. Yeah. Yeah.
Chris Lee said outlaws don't care about what they're saying on the news. Any real outlaw biker only cares what the judge says. Believe it or not, these guys care about their public persona because they understand how important it is. They're not all a bunch of like Neanderthals rolling around with with clubs from caveman days. These are very sophisticated organizations. They understand what bad public image does. I love all the attention this is getting, yet no one is talking about how many shootings happened Memorial Weekend in Chicago. Okay, let's talk about it. There's black folks killing each other in Chicago this Memorial Day. Okay, we talked about it. Black Dragon Biker TV, at Black Dragon Biker TV. Check out the newly popular movie Sinners if you haven't already. Highly recommended it. You'll end up watching it more than twice. I have watched that movie and was so intrigued by it. I have to see it again. These are risks you take hanging out in civilian bars with your colors on. Yes, traveling one time. Ragnar, what's up, man? Ragnar is such a cool dude. He rode all the way down here, man. I love that guy. I haven't seen him in so long. Bet they throw a RICO in there, club structure and connection to a business to use for influence and money laundering. So yeah, it could be more of a RICO than a hate crime. If they have a PRO, they care, says just a writer named Sprite. What's up, Sprite? You know what a Sprite is, right, Sprite? You know, you do know what the definition of a Sprite is, don't you?
No.
A mischievous being. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I live in
never
Texas.
know.
Yeah, she's mischievous.
Former short track racer. The Outlaws. You see what you got highlighted here?
No, hold on. I was looking up the definition of Sprite for him. Look, can refer to, hold on. Let me get this out of the way. A Sprite can refer to a lemon lime flavored soft drink, or a mythical creature like a fairy or an elf, or a small independently moving image. No, we like the mythical creature. No, a mythical creature like a fairy or an elf. They're normally known to be a supernatural entity in European mythology, often associated with elves, fairies, and pixies. They are sometimes described as mischievous or playful spirits. That's what a Sprite is. Mm-hmm. She knows that. So she wants y'all to know that.
Or she can just like Sprite soda.
She could be referring to the lemon lime. We'll let her
and probably had no clue about what you just read. But I don't know.
I live in Texas, says RTB 9000, former short track racer. The Outlaws are, oh, wow, racist pieces of trash, white supremacist biker gang heavily involved in the methamphetamine underworld. So there you go. He doesn't say how he knows that, though.
Right.
If he lived in Texas, he's not from where they are. Regardless of what happened, the guy was handling business before he was overpowered. I doubt anyone in that bar would want to see him one-on-one in a fade, and I have to agree with you. He was handling his beeswax, bro. Oh, Outlaws have people in Texas. Law enforcement. Really? Very sophisticated. Let's talk about all the crime in the rural areas instead. Says, oh, shoot, Biker Podcast Clips Unofficial said, you want to talk about the Chicago crime. What about the crime out in the rural areas and the trailer parks and stuff? Well, how do we always get racial with this stuff? I don't understand. They always want to deflect. What about the blacks? Yeah, it's Biker Podcast Clips Unofficial. That's exactly what he did. But we did. We talked about it for him. So shame on that brother's old lady for flirting. She needs a head check. That's what he should have done. Was slapped her teeth and got his woman in check. If that is,
she was thinking about that black meat. She was thinking about the dark meat. He was like, oh man.
He was a strapping young lad. He was a giant off in there. A lot of violence and junkies in white rural areas too, says Biker Podcast. Okay, so we're getting ready to head down that hole.
We're not going down that hole again.
I might be back in town this summer. I hope you come see me, Ragnar. Oh, Sprite said she definitely knew what her name was. So there.
Okay, Sprite. Okay, Sprite. Oh, okay.
You know,
mythical creature, spirit, elf.
not a
16.
lot of people use the name Sprite. That she had to know what that meant
Yeah.
to choose that out. She just happened to run across a cerebral brother who knew exactly what that was when he saw it. Did they ever say what started the ish? Yeah, they. Well, we kind of figured it out. You need to scroll back. I'm in Oklahoma City in outlaw country, and I've been threatened by them personally for wearing another club native to Oklahoma, and I didn't know this bar was their bar, the bar that you were in. Yeah, that kind of sucks, and that has happened. I've seen that. I've been in that, and when you wear colors, you got to be prepared to stand your ground. That's the real thing. They had 20 guys show up for one small guy wearing
It wasn't small.
confused support.
Oh, okay. Talking about something different. Okay.
No, this is the guy that was he went to a bar in Oklahoma, and somebody probably called. It was an Outlaws bar, so somebody probably called the Outlaws, and they show up 20 guys for one small guy. Well, they're gonna show up and drink. They rule through fear and drugs. He says that's how a lot of people rule.
Look, see, she likes Sprite too.
She just
says
did
both.
that 'cause you're a preacher. That's all.
I had nothing to do with it.
She just did that
If I ever meet you, just a rider named Sprite, the first Sprite is on me.
He just did that so I couldn't win. That's my subscribers don't want me to win against you. The dudes always get on clubs. Okay, so we're trying to get to the last thing. Any club wants is to show up on the domestic list, since now they are even sending Americans to the overseas prisons that are on that list. What? Are they sending Americans to those prisons?
Yeah, they sent 2.
I once saw a Sprite in the 80s after a 5-day crank bender.
Started something.
I bet you did. No women beating. No women beating. So you can't slap her in the mouth. You got to go beat the guy up. Biker, because this is biker news, not Chicago news, and if you did your due diligence, you would know he just tried to raise money for an outlaw that died in Chicago. Cut off. I appreciate you, man. They don't know. Some of these guys just float in and they just want to cause trouble. To you black guys in these support clubs for white diamonds, this is what y'all are risking it for. Guys that call you an N-word behind your backs. So yeah, listen, the race thing is big in this country. I think it's big all over the world. Black Dragon, do you still have the same number you did when I went down there? Yeah, I still do. And you can hit me at 404-692-0336, 404-692-0336. So you might have my personal number, so you can hit me there. But 404-692-0336 here. I'll flash that across the bottom. Anybody can call me. I answer my phone calls. People say, "Oh my God, I can't believe it's Black Dragon." Yeah, it's me. I'm just a regular guy.
Yeah, go back to what Jay said. I want to comment on that. That right
Don't
there.
think because you are wearing a support shirt and are not a member that the club will protect you. Only thing you will do is draw attention to those that don't like them.
And I agree with that. And some people had asked when we were starting our ministry, they said why we're not wearing a support patch, why we're not doing this. And I had to continue to underline the word ministry. We're not a club, we're a ministry. I said, I have to be neutral. If I wear a patch connected to this one organization, and all of a sudden that organization doesn't like the boogie down. So, and Lavish says, Logic, can you come and pray for me? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't come and pray for you because the organization I'm connected to don't like you today.
Yeah, but what he's talking about is
be careful. He's talking about support clubs. Yeah.
No. He's talking about support shirts. So there's a support club, and then there are people that buy shirts that are supporters. They're not even in the club.
Oh, okay, I got you.
They're friends of the club.
Gotcha.
Or they like the club, or they think the club is really cool. So these people will buy a support shirt, but you are not a member of that club. And so
or you're not a club. You're not in a club at all.
Not going to protect you. I've seen a lot of guys get their asses whooped. I said I was going to stop cussing. I've seen a lot of guys get whooped on because they have a support shirt on in a place they shouldn't be. So if you're in a Pagan's bar with an Outlaw support shirt on, I support the Outlaw. You don't even know an outlaw. You just bought the support shirt because you wanted to support them. We've done videos on that, and we say what you should do is wear support shirts to the function of the club you're supporting, especially if you're in areas where you don't know who could be there. You don't wear that around. You ain't in the club. So if you're not in the club, how would the club protect you just because you had their support shirt on? Don't do it. Other guys wear that support shirt and act like they're in the club, talking to people crazy and everything. And the clubs say, don't do that, man. You're not part of us. Don't do that. Because it could turn out bad for you. We might whoop you for doing that. MC Strikers, Buffalo Soldiers, Outlaws, DDs are a different breed these days, says Mr. Rich. Don't play. What up, Red Bull? Oh, okay, so Red Bull asked, did you guys actually say what happened and he was there late? So this is the closest thing that I think probably fits what happened. Here's the truth. The black guy goes there often. One of the girlfriends of one of the bikers was flirting with him. Her boyfriend got mad, and his MC gang brother added the woman's drinks to the guy's total. The guy told them to fix his tab so he could pay and go. They refused and demanded cash. He went to leave and was jumped. While being jumped, he was called a racial slur. One of those jumping him was the bar owner's boyfriend and her daughter's boyfriend. So it's going to be interesting because it's going to be interesting. But another guy said, who was there, said that he had been there for hours. They had asked him to leave a long time ago. For over an hour ago, they'd asked him to leave. He had been belligerent and was arguing with people. And at some point, everybody got tired of him. We know the police were called, but we also know that heard that the Outlaws were called. They must have arrived there before the police. At some point, there was a discussion about how much the drinks cost. His bill wasn't right. Some people are saying that he refused to pay his bill. Other folks are saying, and we have folks that were there, are saying that he said he had no problem paying the bill. He just wanted it to be the right charge. And this person here says, yeah, why he had a problem with it is because they added the other guy's girlfriend's drinks to his total. So we know from all of these people, there was some discussion about the bill, whether it was that so the story was, he tried to leave without paying his bill. So many people have said that, but that doesn't appear to be the truth. And they'll find out. They will find out. They're going to go through it with a fine-tooth comb. And if that bar has anything to hide or was doing something kind of crazy, it may come to light that he got beat up for nothing. But no matter what, it looks horrible. It is horrible. All those guys jumped that one guy. So even if it's not a hate crime, it definitely was a crime that took place on national television for everyone to see all around the world, even in India, China, Hong Kong. Everybody's talking about it. So it's probably going to get the worst kind of prosecution. They're probably going to try to throw everything at the guys. But the hate crime piece, has to be proven. And I think there could be an argument that it wasn't that. Somebody said, well, they just wanted to do that. Well, yeah, but that doesn't, they got their opportunity and they took it. Maybe so. But did it start off as that? I don't know. This was the story I heard too. He was questioning the tab instead of refusing to pay. Yeah, that's the story that we've all heard. Hey, hit that like button for me if you're just coming in. Hit that like button for me. We need that like button to be hit. The number one metric in all YouTube as to whether a channel is doing good or not is the like button. So you do more by hitting that like button than anything you could do. So please take the time right now to hit the like button. Where's the video of him being belligerent? I haven't seen one. They're lying. I don't think the guy that was on my channel would lie or is lying, because these folks have been with me for years and years, and they know I do both sides of the story, and therefore I believe him. But I wasn't there. He was, though. He said he was. They recorded everything else, but no video of him being belligerent. They didn't record everything. We saw just a few minutes of the video. We didn't see everything that happened before or even after. When they stopped with him getting kicked in the face, they didn't show what happened or like how they finally adjudicated that. Whatever happened to him, we don't know that. That wasn't on the video. So no, everything.
That lady in orange was peeling people off. You know, she might have got down on the floor too.
Somebody said I spent many hours in bars and nightclubs from 83 to 2001, and I never ran a tab. You're asking for trouble if you run a tab. Pay as you go. Stop partying. That he stopped partying in 9702. But I think this is some of the best advice ever. I've never run a tab. I've never run a tab.
Well, I take that back. I have.
I always pay as I go.
I don't. Because I didn't. I got tired of just showing my card every time I go up there, and I knew I was going to be drinking all night long.
Mr. Rich Don't Play said sometimes people just don't know when to stop, and that's probably what happened here. All right, folks, we're at this for an hour. I think we've done good in covering it. You got to know a little bit about who the Outlaws were. Now, my own experience with the Outlaws. I have many chapters that I open in Outlaws territory. And so I've dealt with them. I've been protected by some of them, especially like when my channel first got it started. There was an outlaw that took me under his wing to make sure that, this is crazy. When I first got started, it was so controversial for a black man to be talking about motorcycle clubs. It was just, and it was only 2016. It was controversial, and there was a lot of trouble that came from that as I pioneered that, so you guys could do this without any trouble. And I got a lot of threats and stuff like that. And there was an outlaw, Mikey 1%er, who came to my he came to my defense. He protected me and my channel. He made phone calls to people when I had issues and looked out after me to ensure that I could do this. A black man, I could do this, and the white clubs and stuff that did not like that had to deal with him. And he went head to head with a lot of folks. When Sucker Free MC came after me, a black page and a black organization, mostly black. It had a lot of white bikers. When they came after me, when other 1% motorcycle clubs came after me, this guy would fire in there, and people would back the hell off of me because he wore that Outlaws patch. And so I didn't mind doing a GoFundMe thing the other night, trying to raise money for a guy's family who was an outlaw that passed away. I didn't mind doing that because I've been to their clubhouses. I've heard all the stuff like no black people are admitted in their clubhouses and stuff like that. But I've seen a picture of what may have been one black outlaw. I've been to their clubhouses. I've never been treated with any disrespect. I've met them out in the open. When I was down in Florida doing my thing, many outlaws came up to me and said, "Hey, man, we watch your show. We like your show." I've been treated with respect. So, yeah, all these clubs do bad things. That's why they're on the police lists and all that. But you have to judge an organization. If you have to judge an organization, sometimes judging it by the few people that do very bad things or crazy things or stupid things, that was a very stupid thing to do. People don't realize that the cameras are watching, but a lot of these clubs, and you name them, all of these clubs, I've had to deal with all of them. And it's just, you deal with the highwaymen up there all the time, Lavish. And is that what they're called? And there's, they've offered you their clubhouse and everything else. So
I don't think he heard you. Now his ears are on.
I said you deal with the highwaymen, don't you, Lavish?
Yeah, I got a relationship with the highwaymen.
And there's been so many negative things said about them. They've offered you their clubhouse.
They offered me their clubhouse, and I used their clubhouse. I don't know if I was the first black person to actually have free range of the highwaymen's clubhouse hold my bike night when the police was giving me problems. The highwayman, stepped up, said, "Hey, Lavish, man, if you need to, our doors are open to you." And I took him over there, man. And even though you had some of the people that was kind of leery about going, when they went over there, their perspective changed. And I mean, people are really mindful of what's going on. You got some that are some way, and you got more that's a different way. So, but that goes on both sides.
Yeah.
But I only can speak with my on my relationship with that particular club, because Big T, they president, rest in peace, who died, man, he was everything but a white guy. He was a white guy only in race, only in color, man. But everything else about the guy was black, man.
Why no? White in name only. I got you.
Yeah.
So I think that the motorcycle set. I think also I got to talk about Hollywood from Insane Throttle. Hollywood has been associated with the Outlaws for a very long time. He was a black piston, and so from the Outlaws family, Hollywood from Insane Throttle has another guy in the Outlaws family who took care of me when I was first getting started. Tommy says something very interesting here. He says, "I remember Black Dragon when I first saw you. I thought it was weird. My own idiocy. Now you're my number one show." And yeah, Tommy's on here every day. But I'm telling you guys, when I started in 2016 and I wrote the book Prospects Bible in 2014, people were just livid that a black man would know anything about motorcycle clubs. That a lot of people didn't understand that there were black motorcycle clubs, and they didn't even know that there were black 1%ers. Invader Shaggy tells us the first time he saw a black man with a 1% shirt on, he ran up to him and said, "Man, do you know what that is you're wearing? Do you know what he's trying to save the man's life?" And the man is looking at him like, "Bro, what the hell are you talking about? I am a 1%er." So we have seen this. We've seen this grow. And as this social media thing, when I first did this, it was unheard of, and now everybody's doing it. So, hey, man, there are going to be race problems, and a lot of them are working out. But I've heard that no black people are allowed in the Outlaws Motorcycle Club, and that may have been the case. But I have been in several, and was treated good while I was there. Now, nobody was swapping spit in the showers, but nobody was disrespecting me and threatening me or anything like that either. So there you go. There you go. Okay, that's it. We've been on here way too long, hour and 12 minutes. Anything else from you guys before we get out of here?
No, that's about it for me, because I got to go ahead and get out of here. I got to get some paperwork done before I go pick up this next car, man. So everybody out there,
how's
man.
The arm? Do you still have that sling on?
I don't wear it all the time when I'm in the house. I keep my hand in my lap. But what I will tell you is that, being in the sling, even when you don't have it on, just because of the fear of using your muscle that you don't want to use, I often catch myself holding my arm now.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for that second lot reactions. Appreciate that. All right, guys. I'll let you guys get out of here. Lavish, have a great day, young man. You got something coming up. When is that?
August 29th to the 31st, Lavish Biker Bash taking place in the Motor City, D-Town, Detroit. So I'd like for everybody to come out. That's a Labor Day weekend, 3-day weekend. So if you are free and available, definitely check me out.
All right, young man. Take care and have a good one.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye. All righty then, preacher.
I remember this one kid.
All right, y'all. Hey. It's been a great show. Glad to see y'all all here. This is your boy Logic out here. Keep it logical. Listen, if you're out there riding on twos, when you ride on twos, even if you ride on threes, remember these words: ride hard, ride safe, and always, always ride on faith, and keep it logical. Peace.
Thank you, and it's your boy Black Dragon. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in from wherever it is in the world that you happen to be. Man, we're having a great time out here. Get out there, ride your motorcycle, have a good time. Try to find a way to treat other bikers and other people that you know like individually like precious pieces of solid gold, and we won't be here. You know? And be careful what you do in your club colors, man. There are cameras everywhere. And the cameras are watching you. The cameras are everywhere. There's nothing you can do without Big Brother watching. Big Brother is watching you. Keep that in mind. Other than that, be good. Treat each other individually like precious pieces of solid gold. Thanks for tuning in and get skinny. You know what I mean? Bye-bye. So I turned it over to one of my dear 1% friends who took the young man under his wing and started teaching him whatever, and now this kid has... Prepare yourself to take the helm as president of your mighty motorcycle club by delving into the pages of Black Dragon's newest book, The President's Bible, Chronicle 1, Principles of Motorcycle Club Leadership. There you will learn to advance your skills in applying the 14 scientific principles of leadership similar to those taught to officers in the United States Naval Service. Available in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. Get yours today on Amazon, Kindle, or order it at your local bookstore. Order your autographed copy from blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club president you can be. Get the book.
Get Black Dragon's first book, The Prospect's Bible, to learn how to join a motorcycle club. It has been an Amazon #1 bestseller for the past 7 years and is required reading for over 3,000 motorcycle clubs worldwide. This book is a must-have for new people venturing onto the motorcycle club set. It will teach you how to prepare yourself for service to the motorcycle club nation and show you how to qualify a motorcycle club to be worthy of your service. Available on Amazon, Kindle, and for order at your local bookstore. Get your autographed copy at blackdragonsgear.com. Be the best motorcycle club prospect you can be. Get the book.
If you are seeking clarity about issues stemming from problems or crises occurring within your motorcycle club, then set up a consultation with Black Dragon. Black Dragon has over 30 years of experience in the motorcycle club world, having served as a national president of the 50-year-old Black Sabbath MC Nation for nearly 10 years. Black Dragon is a veteran negotiator, skilled in crisis management, conflict resolution, inter-club issues, press conferences, and club reputation management. You can set up an appointment to speak with him by phone at clarity.fm/black-dragon. Get the clarity you deserve to help make your MC the best place it can possibly be.
It's definitely a big issue for you too. But I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute. What's up, Mama Roll? I'm going to talk about the 99s for a minute and what our responsibilities are and what we need to think about. Because if you don't really know what's going on the set, you can find yourself in kind of a precarious predicament if you make the wrong kind of moves or do the wrong kind of things when this kind of stuff goes on. So, when percenters get into a war with one another, what should 99%ers do? Here's 10 things you should know. Thing number 1, stay in your lane. Find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. If you're a president, you want to find a corner and put your motorcycle club in it. What I mean is, the second you volatile, it can be very dangerous. And when you have that kind of thing going on, this set's not safe. So, as a 99%er motorcycle club, what you want to find is yourself in your business, in your lane, while all of the fancy stuff gets handled on other levels.
Yeah, you heard that, didn't you? On other levels. Tried to tell you suckers, Black Dragon is the man. The Black Dragon, the is the man. A real OG, bonafide, certified, a true MC. The biker boys, the biker boys. It's in the house, so most definitely blow the whistle for Black Dragon Biker TV. That's right, I said Biker TV. See, one day, young Dragon made his way out the Navy to become a prospect. Some people thought he was crazy, but 5 years later, hard work became a habit. He became the president of the mighty Black Savage Nation. MCs, y'all, respectfully. Black Dragon, Black Savage, MC. That's right, y'all. Give it a thumbs up. Black Dragon Biker TV at his best. Oh yeah, and don't forget to get his prospect Bible book. So proud of him. Man, he just don't know. He's a real legend. And y'all know it, and I know it. That's right, Black Dragon. That's right. Glad I met you, my friend. Black Dragon, I'm the Midnight Ghost Rider. The V, y'all. Love you, Black Dragon. Peace. And get skinny. Like and share. Goodbye.